Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated, where I'm really excited today. I've got director and filmmaker Gino McKoy with me. So, welcome, Gino.
Thank you, Michael, man. It's an honor and pleasure to be on your show, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're so welcome. I'm shortchanging you a little bit because I know you're a musician, singer, songwriter. You're kind of a jack of all trades. I mean, you do it all.
Yeah, thank you. I try to keep busy.
Yeah, yeah. I know. I'm impressed with
I'm trying to keep busy in this post-COVID world right now. Right?
So I usually like to start here. Talk a little bit about what made you want to get into the entertainment business, and how did you go about that?
Well, I think I don't know. I would say it's kind of destiny that God probably had it mapped out for me because
Yeah.
as a child, I was like 2.5 to 3 years old, and I was watching Star Wars and reading the books.
There
So I
you
was
go.
always into, you know, the whole George Lucas saga, that as they say, basically in watching his movies. And I think that slowly progressed to like Predator.
Yeah,
Um, and I actually spent a weekend with John McTiernan because he wanted to direct one of my movies.
that's pretty
And
awesome.
yeah, it was. And then Alien, of course, with Ridley Scott, one of my other favorite
Yeah,
directors. So I think as a child, I got exposed to it, and my parents were also. My dad is a musician, and my mom was also in music, and I come from a musical
really.
family as well. So I guess I started going into music first, and I went out to Hollywood for music first, and then I realized I wanted to keep creative control over my music, and I
Yeah.
decided you know, the labels wanted to push me in a different direction, and I decided I didn't want to go in that direction.
Good for
And
you.
I decided to stay independent and have to stay autonomous in terms of my own decisions in terms of my music career. So one of the things I decided to do was, well, in order for me to break my music and get it out there was to write my own script.
Yeah,
And one of my other favorite directors, Michael Mann, I read his script Heat because I love Heat.
yeah. Oh, me too. One of my favorites.
One of my favorites too. So, De Niro, Pacino, it was such a great movie. And man
Yeah,
did such a great job. Man, growing up, I loved that movie. So it's one of my favorites. So I read his scripts. I read George Lucas's scripts. I read James Cameron and also Ridley Scott stuff. So,
yeah.
yeah, but I mainly base a lot of my writing off of Michael Mann. So I read his
That's a
script.
pretty good. If you're going to emulate somebody, that's not bad.
Yeah, because he's a writer director, right? So
Yeah,
it's like George and James. So like for me, after I read a script, I went on and I wrote my first script in Hollywood, and it was LMI. It was a female born slash born type Bond type of movie, and I was the first person to write about the deep web and the Bitcoin in Hollywood.
yeah.
Despite what House of Cards and these other people say, I was my script was actually the first one to be circulated because the FBI covered it. I was one of the very few
Really?
scripts that the FBI consulted with me for it, and they wrote an article in Medium magazine about me with that.
How did you get to that point? Like did they reach out to you, or did you have to reach out to
No, but
somebody?
my dad's old school friend was a senior FBI agent, worked for Homeland
Oh, wow.
Security. Yeah, so he's up there.
Yeah,
So
that's great.
he connected me with the entertainment department, for film, and I sent it off to them, and they said they would love to, and they loved the script, and it involved the deep web and Bitcoin. I was the first person in Hollywood to write about
That's
it, and
amazing.
they did a Medium interview. Actually, did a Medium article about me and my script.
Really? So is that
Yeah,
out there somewhere? Can we watch
yes, it
that?
is. Yeah, you could read it. Yeah, it's out there.
Oh, I'd love to read that. That sounds awesome.
But it was also the only script that was not produced. One of the very few scripts that was not produced that the FBI consulted with.
Really?
Because
Why
because
is that?
my movie went into development hell because I lost my lead, and I had a
Oh,
lot of obstacles on the way, from people being jealous to discrimination to all this other stuff. And then my movie didn't take off, and it got delayed. And then I wrote Lumina.
I know,
And
which we
about
have
re-
to talk about, but I I get the sense that you're hinting a little bit. I mean, yes, I'll do it. If I have to help you out, I'll be your lead. I'll do it.
It was a female lead. So you gotta wear a wig.
Yeah,
you gotta wear a wig,
you
Michael.
would want me. You talk about putting your movie in some type of hell. That would be it.
Yeah, so you gotta wear a wig, Michael. That's what it is.
Well, this head's kind of made for wigs.
Yeah, well, the ball look. A lot of women are going with the ball look now, right?
That's right.
So,
Oh, that's true. That's kind of in right now.
Actually, some women actually look really beautiful with like shaved heads. I was surprised.
Yeah, it is kind of surprising, but you're exactly right. So
yeah, you gotta have that right shaped head for that.
You do, which I really don't. My head's kind of, it's kind of bumpy. You don't want mine. So when you were in school, did you play in like the band, or were you in show choir or anything?
I was a singer. In church. I grew up in a Christian family.
Yeah.
Presbyterian.
Oh yeah, Baptist.
Even though my grandfather is Jewish, but I mean he was a non-practicing.
Now that's interesting.
And it's funny because people ask like, why isn't your name Jewish? I'm like, well, because my grandfather is 3/4 Jewish and 1/4 Irish. So he didn't grow up with his father. He grew up with his mother, and my great grandmother was half Jewish and half Irish. So he took his mom's name. So I carry my great grandmother's name, which is McKoy.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. That's really interesting. Yeah. Presbyterian and Baptist are very similar. If I remember right, Presbyterian sprinkles for a baptism, Baptist dunk.
Yeah, Baptist dunk. They do submersion, yeah.
Yeah, my grandfather was kind of the old school fire and brimstone Baptist preacher, So.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I know a little bit of.
I have family that are Baptist too. So.
yeah, but they're similar, very similar.
Yeah, the hymns and stuff like that and everything else. But I mean, I grew up like that, and then basically, I grew up around a lot of music. And my father had a band. So
my amazing.
Mom is a singer, and my mom is used to sing in like school choir and stuff. But I grew up around music all the time, and I went to LA for that, and then I got into film, and I wanted to get my music like out and on its own because I didn't want to change my style and my creative direction. So I wrote my script and I said I'm going to make a movie and put my music in a movie, and that's why I came up with that. That's
amazing. Idea. Yeah. So, real quick though, your music, wasn't it used for some of the World Cups?
Yeah, so it was used for like the World Cup in 2006, the FIFA World Cup in 2006, and it was used for the Cricket World Cup in 2007.
I mean, that's kind of awesome. Just to be able to say that, that's pretty great.
Yeah, no, I was blessed. I thank God for that, man. I was really humbled by that people really like it. And the New York Times wrote about it too in 2006 because I was there in Germany. Germany was great, man. I was there in Germany for the World Cup, yeah. So that was an amazing experience. And after that, like 6 years, about 4 to 5 years after that is when I headed towards Los Angeles, and I work with my former music producer. He's passed on now, Nick Lagona.
Yeah.
He did he did albums with the Police, Rush.
Oh wow.
Deep Purple, stuff like that.
So, just some minor groups.
Small groups. Small groups. Cat Stevens. I love Cat Stevens. Yeah,
Cat's in the Cradle.
Music too. Yeah. Yeah. And so he did my first album. I went out there. And then he had a heart attack, sadly, and then he got really sick. And then David Kirschenbaum in LA took over my music and stuff. And then I started also working with Greg Fillinganes, who was Michael Jackson's musical director. And also
you've worked with some big names. Yeah,
so the soundtrack coming out, and I just did a remix with a good friend of mine, Charles Pierre, who was a London beat. I've been thinking about you. So he's producing a lot out of London now. So the music in the movie basically is my music, and I'm working with my good friend who actually is in North Carolina. His name is Matthew Sargent. He's a composer.
Oh, great! Yeah,
I like to call him like a young Hans Zimmer. Like a young Hans Zimmer. That's why.
Where's he at in North Carolina? Is he in Raleigh?
Close.
Yeah. My brother that come back from Germany is moving to Raleigh, so that's why I was curious.
Yeah, it's beautiful there too. North Carolina's really nice too, man.
Yeah. It's terrific.
Yeah.
So
he's outside of Raleigh though.
So okay. So we have to talk about your movie because it hits all of my wheelhouse. So it's like
Oh,
sci-fi,
really?
horror.
All right.
It's like a thriller. Sounds awesome.
And there's
Sounds
like
awesome.
romance and comedy too.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. So tell me about
Because
it.
it's like Lumina's like an underlying love story because this guy he loses his girlfriend,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, in a blinding flash of light, and she's abducted by aliens, of course, extraterrestrials, and
Yeah.
he becomes, obsessed with conspiracy theories and goes down that rabbit hole basically.
How could you not if that happened to you?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I'm trying to look at it from the psychological point of view, right?
Right.
Perspective, because like, if you lose your girlfriend like that, it's something so unexplainable and something so supernatural.
Yeah.
It's kind of like you don't know where else to turn, so you turn to everything.
Well, yeah.
Because the police and the government won't have any answers for you because it's unexplainable. So,
Yeah.
he turns to, you know, conspiracy theories and alien networks and gets deep into that, and that leads him and his friends on a journey basically that inevitably is very dark and very dangerous.
Well, yeah.
But
Of
it's really,
course.
but really, it's an underlying love story because like he's going after the girl he loves.
Yeah. Does he find her?
Ah, that's you need to watch the movie to see
That's
that.
right. That's right.
That's
Almost.
something you got to watch the movie for to see that though.
Yeah. Yeah. So is
Yeah.
it completed? Has it been released?
Yeah, I finished my director's cut. I'm doing my VFX and my sound right now. So once that's complete, I'm gonna all the people that have like yourself and everyone else in the media who have graciously taken interviews with me, I'm gonna allow you guys to have a little preview of it.
Oh my gosh.
Before it
Thank
comes
you
out.
so much. I'm so excited for that because I know you got to work with a good friend of ours, Eric Roberts was
Oh, Eric,
yeah.
loved Eric. Loved
Yeah, we
Eric.
did
Eric is such a talent.
oh my
I mean,
gosh. And
he's
have
such
you ever been to his IMDb page? They
yeah,
almost
he's
seem like
the guy with the most movies. He's the actor with the most movies in Hollywood.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's crazy because he told me, "Oh yeah, I just shot 2 movies like the other week before he came to Morocco," and I'm like, "Really?"
What
I'm like,
I
"Just really?"
know, I know. He's
It's
he's the
crazy. I was
best.
like, "No way!" I couldn't
Yeah.
even believe that. I was like, when I was looking at it, and my mom was like, she's a producer on the movie, and my dad as well, and they were looking at it and they were like, "Wow, how much movies has Eric done?" I'm like, "Yeah."
It's like
Eric,
600 or something. It's crazy.
so over 600. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. His number is like up. I couldn't even believe that. I was like, wow.
Yeah. He
I think
did a
the closest person, I don't know if it was Danny Trejo or somebody else, but I think the closest person to him was like 400.
well, yeah, I tell you who it may be is another friend of ours is Ed Asner, and he's done a
Ed
ton.
Asner. I
Yeah.
met Ed Asner in North Hollywood one time in a restaurant.
Really? Yeah, we
Long
got to
time
meet
ago.
both him and Eric helped us with the audio drama that we
Oh
were
wow.
producing, and they were both nice enough to do some voices for us, and we
Wow.
kind of became friends. And then Ed has actually come to we're in a little town in West Virginia called St. Albans. Ed's come through here a couple of different times and performed just at the local theater, and
Oh
it's
wow.
just been the best. So we've kind of got to
Ed is another legend, man.
yeah. I mean, they're the two of them combined have done like all the things. I mean, all of it.
Yeah. I don't think there's a role that probably
Mm.
um Eric has done that basically is not in the. He's probably done every single genre if you think
Oh,
about
I'm sure. Yeah, it's amazing. So you filmed in Morocco. How in the world did you choose Morocco? And has anybody ever filmed in Morocco before?
Oh yeah, Ridley
Yeah.
Scott, Scorsese, like everybody, man. Like
Okay. Yeah, I didn't. I was like
Brad
Morocco.
Anderson, like there's so many. Like I mean, Gladiator, Troy, Kingdom
Oh,
of Heaven.
right. That makes sense. So
Yeah,
did you
because I was
choose Morocco
Kundun
because
with
of that?
Scorsese.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like they're known for shooting like the period pieces, historical period pieces, and like
Right.
those sword and sandal stuff, epics, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you know, we shot at Claw Studios in Ouarzazate, which is in the high Atlas Mountains. And behind our studios is the Kingdom of Heaven set.
Oh my gosh. Kingdom of Heaven. And actually I knew that was in Morocco. I completely forgot that. What a movie.
Yeah. So what drew me there? Like our producer friend who's from Malta, who is a very good friend of ours. He when we were going to shoot in Malta at first. And
Yep.
my friend, it's funny, my friend Dan Bradley, who's one of the top second year directors and stunt coordinators in the industry, he was shooting Jurassic World with Spielberg in
Oh
Malta
wow.
last year.
Yeah.
He was there and he was telling me what was going on and stuff. And the only problem is that Malta doesn't have any deserts.
Right. Right.
That was part of the landscape in my script, and that's what I needed. So I thought about Tunisia,
Yeah, Tunisia would be good.
because Tatooine, Star
Yeah, I was gonna
Wars,
say there's some big ones there.
right? And but there was no studios. There were no studios to shoot on stages. So I needed really big sound stages because my set bills were huge. Because you know I was building underground military bases, I was building alien stuff, and like it was really big. And our
How did
sets
you
are like
know? How
second.
did you have help with that with the set building, or did you already have that like in mind what you wanted?
I didn't mind what I wanted, but at the same time, my production designer and my art director Aziz, who has worked on a lot of films, you know, Hollywood films in Morocco, they helped bring the vision together
Oh, that's awesome.
with me.
Yeah.
So my production designer David Dean Ebert and also my art director Aziz. Without Aziz, you know, we wouldn't be able to build all that stuff because you need a local art director that has a really good
Right.
construction and art team to really, you know, execute that stuff, right? And I had scouted Morocco a year before,
Yeah.
and I loved it. They had the sound stages at Claw Studios, where I told you where basically in the back of Claw
Yeah.
Studios is where the Kingdom Heaven set was. And they had a variety of locations. And some of the places in like Marrakesh and everywhere else looks like LA.
Really?
It has a similar geography.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like the latitude. They're almost on the same latitude, like Morocco and California.
And now that's pretty interesting. Well, Moroccan food is not terrible either. So if you have to be somewhere
Moroccan
filming,
food is really good.
yeah, it is. It is really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
that's
like I mean, when I went, I decided, okay, let me. They got the stages, they got the desert, they have this like such a variety of locations. So I'm like, yeah, let me go there and shoot. And I went there, and that's why I decided to go there because I had like everything that I needed there. And the crews are really on par with the crews in Los Angeles. They've
oh,
shot so many big
that's great.
movies.
Yeah.
They've shot so many big movies over there. And when Eric came over, Eric was really, really impressed. You know, with us running the set and the crews and everything else. He really loved it over there. So, you know,
And was
and he
that
came with
his
my
first
casting
time
director.
there?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Yeah. Which isn't a bad selling point. You know, if you need somebody for your movie and you can say, well, we're filming in Morocco. That's not terrible.
Yeah, and it was safe. I mean, the COVID stuff, the rules, everything was safe. It was a really great time shooting there.
How long of a
Um,
shoot was it?
I shot for about 29 days,
Oh,
but I was there October to March, so I finished in late
wow.
January. Yeah, but we had a lot of delays. I got food poisoning.
Oh, no.
Like it was like so much drama around it, like in delays. I kept it out. I had to switch producers, and I ended up shooting with Dune Films, which is like you know the number one film production company there, and they became like family. Like they've
Yeah.
shot so many big films. Like they shot Kingdom of Heaven and all those big movies. So
Yeah.
you know I had to switch production companies. So we had troubles with the first one,
Yeah.
and it was like we're shooting at the height of COVID, and we were one of the very few Hollywood features to actually shoot and complete filming during COVID.
Yeah. Which, that, yeah. Congratulations on that because that's an
Thank you.
accomplishment
Yeah.
by itself. Yeah. So, how did you keep it moving and how did you
We're
afford
testing
to
every
keep
week.
it moving?
We're testing every week.
Yeah.
We were keeping everyone isolated. We had the same team going forward. We worked really hard to get that thing done, and
Yeah.
I shot super fast. Now this movie, given the fact there's special effects, creature effects, visual effects, there's
Yeah.
everything in this movie. There's explosions, there's like stunts, there's so much. There's like chases, there's like everything in this movie.
Wow.
Big set builds, like over 50,000 square feet of sets have been built.
Holy
It's like
cow.
one of our stages is like second to, I would say, Alien stages, like 150 feet long and stuff. And you know, we did stuff in a record time, basically. That my movie would have taken at least 50 days to shoot,
Yeah.
easily 40 days. It was a 40-day shoot, and I shot it in 28, 29 days.
When you were able to shoot it that fast, even when you're switching production companies?
Because we got delayed, so we got delayed in pre-production.
Okay. Okay. So you hadn't started.
Our delay was in pre-production.
Yeah.
So we switched, and then we had to get another art director. We got Aziz, thank God, and he was a lifesaver.
Yeah.
He worked on my production design, and he built those sets in 3 weeks.
Holy cow. Wow. That's amazing.
3 crews, 24 hours a day.
How did you fund the movie? Did you fund it yourself, or did somebody else?
It was all self-financed through my mom, who used to be a former director of Royal Bank of Canada.
Yeah.
And her good friend David Seysha, who's a good friend of ours, and they work together, and they, in finance and entrepreneurs and stuff like that, they put the money together, and they are doing the slate of films I'm doing right now. And it was like tough as an independent filmmaker to put that together and shoot during that time, when other studio films that my friends were on were being shut down in Los Angeles. So it was like, it's a gargantuan task in certain aspects of it, because we did something that a lot of other people didn't do. And David, a good friend who's a producer on the film as well too, he got in a plane crash when he was flying out to LA. So he took off in Colorado. He was coming to LA to visit us about 3 weeks before we were supposed to fly out to Morocco.
Yeah.
And upon takeoff, his plane crashed on the runway, and a third of his body was burnt. And he jumped out of the plane, and he was airlifted to the University of Colorado Hospital.
Gosh, is he okay?
Yeah, he survived it. Miracle.
Yeah, you got to go play the lottery like immediately after that. I mean, that's amazing.
God saved him, and it's like, we went to visit him in the University of Colorado Hospital last year during the height of COVID.
Yeah.
2 weeks we were with him. He got airlifted private jet back to Toronto because he's Canadian like us, and he was there, and he recovered in the hospital, and he couldn't come on set with us to Morocco.
Yeah.
And then the day before I was supposed to leave, after that, this is after all this happened, and I left University of Colorado Hospital, went back to Los Angeles, and the day before I was supposed to leave to go to Morocco, my DP dropped off.
Well, what happened there?
A lot of things. He was like, he because of the whole accident stuff, he's like, it's taking too long, and he was getting really antsy and stuff.
Yeah.
He dropped off, so I went to Morocco without a director of photography.
Oh my gosh, I love how diligent and just you persevered. You overcame all this stuff to get it made. That right there makes me want to see the movie.
Yeah, and then we went to Morocco. We had so many problems, and there's another article coming out with me basically that's going to highlight the whole thing, and I'll send it to you.
Yeah, please do.
It's like stuff that never happened in the film industry before, that my casting director, my attorneys haven't seen in 30 years, that we had to go through these obstacles and these things to actually get this film made. And, also, I got another DP on board, Larry Smith, and he's famous for working with Stanley Kubrick. And Larry's from the UK. Larry's from the UK, and with his entire film team. And we got delayed, and then he ended up shooting 2 days, and he went back to London for the Christmas break because I wanted to shoot through Christmas.
Right.
And he was coming back on the 2nd. And our good friend Gabriel Beristain, who just shot Black Widow with Scarlett Johansson, he's a DP on that.
Nice.
He was busy on a project.
Very busy.
Couldn't come and shoot the movie with me. So he sent one of his proteges, a young female DP named Raquel Gallego, and she came over and she shot over Christmas with me because she was supposed to step back to a camera operator when Larry came back from London.
Right.
The second strain of COVID happened in London. So I lost my entire camera team, and I lost Larry coming back.
Yeah. Was that like March, somewhere in there?
No, it was December.
Oh, it's December. It's right. Yeah, you said it's right around
2020.
Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah, I lost my DP and my camera team again, and they couldn't come back because they weren't allowing them in Europe or
Yeah.
Morocco or outside of the UK. And Raquel shot the rest of the movie with me.
That's amazing. You should write a book just about the actual making of the movie.
Yeah, we were thinking about actually doing a little mini series about it because it's like
You should.
I'm just like highlighting 10% of what happened.
It's amazing. I mean, did you at least have a little bit of advantage casting because there wasn't very many people shooting last year? Did that help you get
I mean, I'll tell you about that. And I won't go into too much detail, but I lost my entire first cast.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
What happened? Was it just COVID related?
It was a lot of stuff, and that's something I'm going to go into later.
Oh my god!
I had to recast my entire movie in a week and a half, and then, as you know, the person that was originally attached to play Tom, the role that Eric played was Christopher Plummer, our good friend Christopher Plummer.
Oh, love Christopher Plummer.
So Chris was attached, and Chris, of course, because of COVID, he couldn't travel.
Yeah.
He was older. He's like he was 90. So he wished us his best and everything else. And a week after I wrapped is when he passed away.
Oh wow! Yeah, that had to be hard. Did that change the role at all? Because he was old.
It changes slightly, but you know what? Eric is so good. He's a chameleon.
Yeah, he is.
He's such a versatile actor. So I mean, I think that God put it that way. Like, I mean, he was perfect for the role. He killed it. His presence, his screen presence is so great.
Yeah,
I'm not just saying that. I mean, he's a joy to work with. We want to do a movie together, another movie together, and stuff like that. I think both of us like westerns, so that's something.
Oh yeah, me too.
I love westerns.
Yeah. My son is a writer, and he's working on.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's working on a western now, and of course I've got dad goggles, but I'm reading it, and he's about a third of the way through, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I would watch or buy this somewhere. So hopefully he gets somebody looks at that.
That's a great thing. It's a great thing to see parents support kids.
Oh my gosh, I just think he's so talented, and I'm reading it because he sends it to me a couple pages at a time as he's writing it, and I'm just like, I'm constantly asking, what do you got? What else you writing? What's happening to this guy? What's going on?
Man, it's great. You know what, man? As writers, we need to support each other in the community.
Yeah, for sure.
The filmmaking community, because too often our writers are disregarded, basically. But they're like the main thing that gets it off, right?
Yeah, of course. The
script.
So during your movie, do we get to see the aliens?
Yeah, at the ending.
Yeah.
Good act.
Or are you leaving it somewhat open so there can be a sequel, or is this just a one and done?
I mean, it's I love ambiguity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you mean. You want the possibility.
There's always you know what? In science fiction, there's always a possibility.
That's right. There's
exactly. You can never rule out the possibilities of something happening.
Yeah. I'm taking that to mean that yes, there'll be more.
I love giving those vague answers to see exactly.
That's perfect. I'm always doing that because you don't want to give it away. Like as a fan, I want to know everything about it, but I also want to be surprised. So good luck.
He's like, you want to know everything, but you don't want to know nothing.
That's right. That's exactly right. It's just as a fan, I want to know everything, but then I don't want you to spoil anything.
Yeah, you want to know everything, but you also don't want to know nothing about what the hell is going on.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So when do you have like a tentative release date that you're planning on putting that out?
Well, we're hoping fall or winter, because once I finish post, with the VFX and the sound, then it's going to put me in a better position. Then I got to screen it to like the studios and do audience testing, and then of course show it to media personalities like yourself and everyone else in private screenings. And then,
oh my gosh, I'm so excited for that. Yeah, you let me know if you're red carpeting anywhere. we'll show up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Trust me. Liza and my entire group, and AGPR and my entire team with James and everyone else, they're gonna be on that for me. So I mean,
Yeah, that'll be fun
we're
because
gonna
I
make sure.
know in LA there's in normal times there's a premiere like every other day. It's
Yeah. Well,
constant.
now I'm happy now with things opening back up, so you can do premieres.
Yeah, I know. I
It
love
changes the whole
staying.
dynamic. Remember, we were going through a time when it was like, will we ever have a premiere?
I know. Yeah, I love going out to
that
LA.
was the general consensus. That was the
Well, everybody
conversation.
thought
Right?
that it was over. Were we ever going to get back to a normal, viewing experience?
But I don't know if it's ever going to go back to normal. But I think we're going to go back to normal viewing experience. But everything has changed. People have changed. The world has changed.
We're watching movies like Black Widow at home. I mean, that's a big.
Yeah, Disney Plus. People are not even leaving their home to see Black Widow now. And I think what they make like 60 million on Disney Plus for Black Widow.
Well, we watched it at our studio. We invited over about 20 people and just and premiered it here, and it was great. It was a good time. I missed the theaters, but
well, you know what? My good friend Gabriel Berenstein is the director of photography on it. So
I know that's amazing. Job. Yeah, that's amazing.
Gabby's a very good friend of ours, so he did an amazing job, man. So I told him that. He shot with the same camera I shot with, the Sony Cinealta.
Really? See, I'm so excited to see your movie. Yeah, you have to send it our way. I'm so and I'm so impressed.
It'll be a pleasure.
You did the soundtrack as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, the title tracks are also my songs,
Yeah.
People can follow me on Instagram at Gino McKoy, and also on Facebook and my verified page on Facebook. And
I follow you.
My music is in it. I'm on all the streaming platforms. So you're gonna hear my music in the movie, and the soundtrack is really dark. It's between Blade Runner and Sicario.
Yeah, it's what was the song that let me find it because I really liked it. Everything to Me.
Oh yeah. So David Kirschenbaum and Greg Fillingays, Michael Jackson's musical director and arranger, is the one that worked mainly on that one with me.
I could see it. I could totally see it. I mean, I liked some I loved Cincy Girl, which was different, and just fun. I thought it was just a fun song, but I had trouble categorizing it. It kind of crossed some genres, I think.
It's kind of like I would like to say it's kind of like soca pop kind of stuff.
Yeah. And
Caribbean I was vibe, there's a pop Caribbean vibe to it. That's what it
is. Good luck not moving along with that song. And then the other one that I liked was I wrote it down. Runaway.
Oh, Runaway, yeah, it's my rock track.
Yeah, it's really good. I like that your different songs are different. It's not like all your songs they're not all the same genre. They kind of bounce.
It never, you know what? My stuff never sounds the same.
No, I could tell that.
That's why it was tough for me to be in a label when I was younger.
Yeah.
When I was talking to Universal and all the different labels when I came to Los Angeles at first in Hollywood, it was tough because they wanted me to go on one track and my creative vision is like whatever the song comes out like is a good song no matter what the genre is.
That's right.
I was kind of like preceding like what Spotify is doing right now.
Yeah.
The playlists, different playlists. Guys could have like rock or hip hop or like soca or like pop music on their like playlist, and it's like everything you're listening to at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I always felt like if this song is like like U2, like a U2 style of music, that's what we're gonna do. Or if this song is like more like laid back, more Caribbean, I'm gonna do that. Or it sounds like more like alternative, I'll do that. So I grew up listening to everything growing up as a child with my parents, right? So
I love that you just bounce around depending on the mood you're in or what the project you're working on requires.
Definitely, because some days like you wanna listen to hip hop, or some days I don't listen to like Pearl Jam.
Right.
That's just how I grew up, in Toronto. In Canada. So it's like I grew up listening to all different types of genres. You know, I was never like, okay, I don't like this because this is like rock. I'm like crazy. I love that. It was like for me, it's like, you know, it's so strange. I see now that even like, you know, rock and alternative music is not even on Billboard charts anymore. Really,
I know, it's weird.
like a Hot 100, because you don't see guys like Pearl Jam or like Metallica
Right.
or even like, you know, even like Nickelback winning awards anymore.
Yeah, not anymore.
You know, and that was like good alternative and rock music, like for me when I was growing up as a kid. But I mean, like I listened to all genres.
Yeah.
So like, so that's why it was hard to fit me in a mold at the record labels.
Yeah,
You know,
I
that's
can
what it
totally
was.
see that. Well, and it's worked out because now you can do whatever you want to do,
Yeah, I have the
tied
autonomy to
in
do
with
like
your
what I
other
want to put in my
creative
movies, right?
endeavors. Yeah,
I have an avenue to put it in, which is my movies.
yeah,
So
I love that. So, did you make an appearance in this movie?
yes, I did. I
Because
won't
that's
tell
what
you
I
what
would
that
do.
appearance is.
If I was making a movie, I'd totally make an appearance.
I did. It's a small one, but like, yeah, you'll see it.
Yeah. Have you done acting before, or was this your first
A
time?
little bit, yes, I did. I went to acting classes and stuff when I was in LA, and I
Yeah.
acted in People's Court. I actually acted in one time in People's Court, actually.
What was your role in People's Court? Were you in front of
Well,
the
I was
judge?
there. I was like a boyfriend who's caught between his ex-girlfriend and the new girl, and the ex-girlfriend threw the new girl's phone in the pool, so she was suing the new girlfriend, and I
Oh, so
was
you were a
involved.
witness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
like a
that's
witness.
terrific. Now you've given it all away because people think that stuff's real, and you've been
It
acting
ain't
for
real, man.
it.
Tell me it ain't real, brother. I hate to give it away, but I gotta say, yo,
That's so funny. That's so funny.
hey, I'm always a guy you can always get the truth from. So that's the main
That's
thing.
right.
So,
That's right. No, that's
yeah,
pretty
I ain't
good.
a liar. That's one thing. I say it as it is. That's what it's about.
Yeah,
So,
you're a truth speaker.
no, it's true. I'm a truth seeker and a truth speaker. That's what it is.
So Gino, this has been awesome. So the
Hey man,
movie's coming out.
it's been an absolute pleasure, brother. Like,
Oh
thank you
yeah,
so
you have
much.
to come back. Like when the movie releases, you got to come back and talk some more about it.
I would love to. It'll be a pleasure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'll
So
just come back
so
and do
before I let you go, is there anything else that you're working on that we can kind of
Oh,
keep?
okay. I am working on something right now.
Yeah.
I've been for a little while. It's from Michael Sloan. He's a creator and producer of Equalizer and Equalizer 2 with Denzel Washington.
See, I knew the name. My mother was a huge fan of the original
TV
Equalizer,
series.
the TV
Yeah,
series.
That's Michael's. Michael's the creator of that one.
Yeah, that's
So
amazing.
I'm
That's
working.
amazing.
I did a script with Michael that I'm directing, and that's his next movie, science fiction.
Really? That's
Yeah.
pretty exciting. That's awesome.
It's big. Yeah, but I
It's
mean,
pretty
he's
big.
producing on Equalizer and Equalizer 2, so it's pretty big. So
Yeah, that's not bad. So any idea when that may be on the
well,
horizon?
once I distribute this movie, then I'm gonna start that hopefully this winter, and
Oh
I'm
my
gonna shoot
God,
it in Morocco again, God willing.
that's super exciting.
And
That's
I'm inviting yourself and all the other media personalities to come and check it out for a weekend.
yeah. You have to. We'll be there. Yeah, we
Yo,
wouldn't miss that. Morocco,
seriously.
come on.
No, you would love it. Everyone who went over loved it. It was like they were so like some people wanted to stay. It was like crazy. It was like it
Yeah,
was
it's
really.
always been on my bucket list of places to visit. At the
Food is great. People are great. It has like beaches, has everything. Deserts. It has like, there's so many different geographical locations you can see in Morocco that this is a beautiful country. I think it's great to shoot. So, and the crews are great and people are great. The food's
well,
great. So
you let us know. We'll get our butts over
all right.
there.
I look forward to that. And I look forward to coming back on and talking about when the movie releases.
Yeah. Please do, please do. I'm so excited to see it, to hear more about it. I just think it sounds. I mean, it's like I said, it's right up my alley. So I'm really really looking forward to it. Plus, it's got Eric in it, and I love Eric.
Yeah, well, Eric, Eric killed it. Put it that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, that's great.
People gonna love Eric's role in this movie. He's like the antagonist of the
Yeah.
antagonist.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So last thing before you go through your social media stuff again.
So Instagram, it's at Gino Gino McKoy McKoy, and same thing, Gino McKoy on Facebook. And
Yeah.
also we have our website that you're going to be seeing a lot of updates on once we start distribution, which is www.lumina LUMINA movie.com.
Yeah, that's awesome. What I
And you
guess
can
I do.
also check out and if you want to see Eric's interview, you could go on my IG,
Ooh.
Gino McKoy, and he did an interview talking about the movie and myself, how he was working with me,
Oh
and the
yeah,
other
yeah. I'll
actors.
definitely check that out. Yeah,
So I
that's awesome.
suggest everyone go on my IG to check out like the interviews from the actors and
Well, I
crews and
noticed you're
just
really
looking
good about putting updates and little things about the movie. I mean, you do a really good job with that.
Thank you so much. I appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, this is yeah, this has been great. I'm so excited for the movie. I guess I did have one more question. How did you come up with the name?
Um, Latin for the lights.
Yeah.
She disappears in a flash of light.
Love it. I love it.
Lumina, it means the
Who's
lights.
playing the role of the girlfriend or the wife or
Oh, Eleanor. Eleanor is is playing the role of the girlfriend. Rupert Lazarus is the lead. Ken is his friend.
yeah.
Sydney is also in there as well. Sydney Rogers, Ken Lawson.
Yeah, Ken
We
Lawson's
have
great. Yeah, that's a good cast.
yeah. I decided to go with a lot of upcoming actors. They
Yeah.
worked really hard. I was blessed. You know, the
Yeah.
performances they put out. So far, a few people have seen it and they're like, wow. They're like, they put in really A-list performances, man. They were really,
Yeah.
really good.
That's terrific. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can't wait to see
I'm
it.
all about the acting because I'm an actor's director, so I'm all about the acting. Like for me, it's about the process, it's about the techniques, it's about like extracting as much as possible out of those actors to get that performance. So
Yeah, that has
that's
to
very
be
important to me.
that is it difficult to take that vision, you wrote it, you did all that. Is it difficult to also direct it or is it easier?
It's easier because I could change things on the whim.
Yeah.
I think if you have a external writer, or one that's with the studio and everything else, you got to go through a lot of red tape to change things
That's right.
sometimes.
That's exactly right.
I could change things on the fly. I could rewrite stuff. I could direct it how I want. I could do improv, which I love doing improv. I love doing like, different situations, like,
Yeah.
and, changing things up. If it doesn't work, that's me.
Yeah.
I think also I probably get that from my conversations with Tony K, who did American History X.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when I sat with Tony, we talked about the directing process. He's that type of guy. He likes to do improv.
That's
He likes to
amazing.
change things. So I think I've taken a lot from a lot of directors I know and that I've worked with or met, and that I've watched, and try to take the best like parts of them and
Yeah.
incorporate that into my style. And I learned a lot from it.
That's
So for
awesome.
me, so I try to do that in terms of like on set because I think it's easier because as a director, then you can change things easier once you wrote it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Well, Gino, you're such a talent. Not
Thank you
just
so
with
much, man.
the writing,
I'm humbled
directing
by
is
that.
amazing. But the songs and everything. I mean, wow. I'm so impressed. Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much too, man. I appreciate that, man. It's very nice for you to say that.
Yeah,
Thank
for
you. I'm
sure.
very humbled by it. And it's an honor and pleasure to be on your show, and I'm going to push it and promote it, brother. And I look forward to coming back on. And
Yeah,
thank
you
you so
have to
much.
come back. You have to come back. Okay, hold
Thank
on
you.
one second. So that was Gino McKoy. What a talented guy. I've been looking forward to this interview because he does all of it. I mean, most people would have been perfectly fine having a singing career that was kind of pigeonholed in one genre. Most people have been like, okay, that sounds good to me. But he wasn't. He wanted to do his own stuff and to be able to have control. And then he took it, into a whole different direction where he's incorporated it with his writing and now his directing and movie making. Fantastic. Yeah, just what a talented guy. So definitely do yourself a favor. keep an eye out for Lumina. Check out his Instagram, Facebook, all of that. Terrific, just terrific. So thanks to Gino for coming on the program. I just had a blast. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed that. If you haven't done so already, it would really mean a lot to me if you could go to our YouTube page, Meisterkhan Pod, give us a like and subscription. That would really help us out. You can check out all of our 260 or so episodes on our website, meisterkhan.com, audio and video. So many good, interesting, just terrific people and interviews on there. I know you'll find some stuff that you like. Brett does a humorous, fantastic blog on all kinds of nerdy, geeky stuff. It's terrific. And you can also find out, where we're traveling to, what shows we're covering, all that good stuff. So please do that. Thank you guys. Until next time. Bye, everybody.